For a musical artist who's trying to make it in the modern world using social media to create brand relevance and build brand equity on top of it, how does one do it without feeling overwhelmed? How does one deal with feeling guilty when they aren't on top of everything?
What I'm about to say is, well, if it feels overwhelming or guilty, like, you don't have to. You know, like, the reality of all of this is, if you can't do something that genuinely makes you happy, it's not gonna work out anyway. If you're doing it because you know you should be doing it, because you're trying to build a career, but it's not enjoyable, that is not a sustainable model. Ironically, my piece of advice is to maybe take a break, which seems like a complete curveball for me, but to me the concern is, if you're doing it for the money, if you're doing it because you're like, well, if I'm not top of mind, someone's gonna come, and right? That comes from a place of fear. It comes from a place of defense. You need to find joy in it, right? And so one of the things I think a lot about is, people are always trying to make content that they think will work versus making content that they want to make. It especially concerns me with people that, like, you know what I get a lot of questions about is people that grew because they're attractive and they no longer want to post naked pictures. Not fully naked OnlyFans, I mean just like, you know, it's a very common question, which is like, I'm now 27, I built 4 million followers because of who I was as a 22-year-old. I don't want to do that anymore, what do I do? And the answer is always like, stop doing it. Like, you know, you're asking a very similar question with a slightly different tweak, which is, it's not gonna work if you don't like it anyway. So maybe there's other things you could be posting, which is a thing that everyone should be thinking about, which is, like, when I didn't want, like, I built my career in 2006 on YouTube making wine videos, and then I didn't want to. And everyone said I was crazy. And like, when I stopped making wine videos and started making business videos, everybody in the wine business told me that I was making the biggest mistake of my career. Because that's all I was known for. I just was building a wine business. I was one of the most followed and like understood people in that era. And people are like, what are you doing? And my comments were like, why are you talking about business? Just stick to wine. Like, what are you, like, but it didn't even cross my, like, I started over, my engagement, my view, all started over. But I knew it wasn't gonna work anyway. You need to find something you want to do. Like, you need to post things you want to talk about. You know, otherwise you can't be sustainable. So what do I think? I think you have to make this work for your soul. Because if you don't, it's not gonna work out anyway. Look, my answer to this question are two extremely opposites. My answer is, everybody at this table should be posting as many times as humanly possible on every platform. Comma, I just told you that maybe you shouldn't post for 3 months. You have to be self-aware of what you're about. To maximize commercial success, you need to post on everything from LinkedIn to TikTok to Snapchat to Facebook, stories, long form, short form, audio, written, all of it. The amount of humans that can achieve that are almost none. It's hard. You could though, but let me give you another example. There's a lot of people at this table and around the world that make a lot of money doing this and should spend it by hiring 4 people so they can make more of it. That's what I did. Instead of keeping the money and buying a fucking Bugatti, I hired people and made it bigger. So like, everyone has to decide what they're doing here.
Doing something that doesn't bring you joy is not sustainable. It's important to find something that you're passionate about and that makes you happy, or else you won't be able to sustain it in the long run. Don't do something out of obligation or fear. Authenticity is key. People can tell when you're not being genuine, and they'll be less likely to engage with your content if they feel like it's not authentic. Focus on making content that you enjoy and that aligns with your values, and your audience will appreciate it. Posting on every platform can help maximize your reach, but it's also important to be self-aware and know when to take a break. Don't push yourself to the point of burnout, but also don't limit yourself by only posting on one platform. Experiment and find what works best for you. Investing in people can help you grow your business and make it bigger. Instead of keeping the money for yourself, hire people who can help you expand your reach and make more money in the long run if you have the capital to do so. It's a smart investment that can pay off in a big way.